justice for all. Thank you.
Madam Chair, may we start by introducing our newest member?
Yes.
And that is Dr. Valerie McNay. And Valerie, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the other members of the commission and let them get to know a little bit about you.
Hi, everyone, and nice to be here. I'm taking Tom's place. I think he had heart surgery, I heard, like a 9-hour, but I think he's doing okay, I hope.
I hope.
And I was going to say, I know all the staff pretty much because I'm really actively involved in Parks and Recreation activities. That's why they probably appointed me, I'm guessing. I do pickleball with Kelly. I do take classes, the line dancing, dance fitness, Pilates, everything I do to Parks and Rec, so I love it. And of course, I'm advocating real hard for the pool. Questions to pass. And but I'm retired now. I worked for Clark County School District for a quarter of a century, and before that, I lived in 3 other states. But and I have a doctorate and PhD in educational policy, ethics, and law. I did administration, but my passion is speech and language pathology. That's why I talk so loud. I worked with a lot of hearing impaired people. So my natural tone is loud. But yeah, no, I really support Parks and Rec. I think it's, to me, it's the heart of the community. I love all the activities, so I'm happy to be appointed. So, and happy that you're not going to meet again until September. No. I read that in the packet.
That's wonderful. We need people that are passionate about our Park and Rec system. Thank you so much. We're going to open with public comment. And there's a phone number. If you have a public comment that you would like to make, please call 702-589-9629. Again, that's 702-589-9629. We'll give that just a couple of minutes for people to call in if they have any public comment at the beginning of our meeting. Again, if you have a public comment you'd like to make, please call us at 702-589-9629. Looks like we don't have anyone calling in, so we'll go ahead and move forward. Our first piece of business is approval of the minutes for our January 25th meeting. I have I think you have a first.
I'll second.
A second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, so moved.
Aye.
That's great. Second, items pertaining to the Boulder City Municipal Golf Course. Discussion for possible approval of operation reports and verbal reports from the Park and Recreation Director, Roger Hall, or looks like we'll have Julie today.
Can we maybe get approval of the reports first?
Yes.
Thank you.
And an approval of those reports. First,
I'll second.
second, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you very much. I do have some information from our Turf Tech maintenance crew at the Muni Golf Course. They have been very busy doing routine maintenance, including mowing, edging, and trimming. They also have done the rough areas at least once a week, and then do areas around the tees and greens and the high profile areas. They try to do that at least twice a week. They've been doing fertilization and aeration. The greens aerification was completed on Tuesday, the 18th, and they have had their first application of the pre-emergent herbicide to help combat some of the goosegrass and weeds and crabgrass. They have been busy doing the bunkers on a regular basis and edging them and weed eating, and the entire range tee was top dressed, and the divots have been filled from excessive winter time use. They've been doing the trimming of the lower branches, and they're constantly working, of course, on their irrigation system and sprinkler heads and valve replacements as needed. They have had some repairs to main lines, and they've been dealing with dandelions and other weeds throughout the golf course. Upcoming projects includes more trimming of the trees and the low-hanging branches that have been, impeding some of the carts. Other than that, that is what they're doing at the Muni course. They're trying to get as much stuff done with the excessive amount of golfers that they have regularly. It's been a nice blessing from COVID, the excessive number of golfers out there, but it has made some challenges as far as maintenance goes. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so our next item for possible action is items pertaining to the Recreation Division of the Parks. Approval of the reports. First, second,
I'll second.
thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Okay, thank you. With that, we'll have a verbal report from Jennifer. I never say your last name right. Spinkly.
Oh, you did good.
On the status of special interest classes, events in the Youth Center and Art Center.
Okay. The green light means it's on, right?
You can move the mic and talk right into it.
Okay. Just want to make sure. Okay. So Tiny Tots, we just had our graduation, and we had 26 graduates, and all in person, and it went very well, nice and smooth. I don't think I saw too many tears, lots of smiles. We also had our end of the year party at the Splash Park, which was different. We usually have a party inside the gym, but I think it was kind of nice being outside and the kids getting to run around, play in the water and the playground, and I think it was a success. The other thing we have with Tiny Tots, we have 4 weeks of summer camp this summer, and the first 2 weeks are already full in June. So we have July left. And Safe Key is another area with the kids, and we have a little bit of a staffing issue. We didn't have very many kids during COVID, so we kind of dwindled down, and we currently have 5 employees. We had a couple more that had applied, said they'd take the job, and then haven't moved forward. And I just got word today that another one did not show for their orientation today. So anyways, we are still looking for applicants, if anybody knows of anybody. For the summer, because of the staffing issues, we are going to only have 20 kids a day. And unfortunately, I noticed that we already have 17 signed up for one day. So we're quickly filling, and unless we can find some more staff, we'll be at 20 for the whole summer. And Sherry, Julie, myself, Kelly, Cherie, and everybody else will be helping out there. They're gonna wear some different hats this summer. Um,
Does that mean that you're going to also come teach swimming lessons?
Absolutely. So, and as far as our classes, everything opened back up in March to where we were prior to the pause in November. We were still waiting for gymnastics, and as of May 1st, we started that. We did only start 1 day a week because the instructor has one of those, she's expecting one of those, what am I trying to say? How we're having a lot of COVID babies, people being home on quarantine. So she wasn't working, so now we're expecting a baby in August. So she's only wanting to do 1 day a week, so, and those are starting to fill up. People are getting the word, so I know by fall when she comes back full force, we'll go back to 3 days a week offering that. Holly does our little kids gymnastics, and the Monday, Wednesday kinder gym class has been full for the last 2 months, and we have Mommy, Daddy, Me on Tuesday and Thursday for the littler kids. And then our art center, we resume classes March 1st. Pottery has more students than they've had prior to COVID, so that's kind of nice. Our other classes, I think, are just having a little bit harder time getting going again, but they definitely all have sign-ups. And I think that's about all I had, unless you have some questions for me.
I just have a comment. Having had 2 kids that just graduated from the Tiny Tots program, I just can't say enough good things about it. And I think you should move the end of the year party to the splash park permanently. It was fantastic. The kids had an absolute blast.
I would agree.
Yeah.
And I think the instructors, it was somewhat less stressful. That party is always just a lot of coordination, setup, takedown, and having it at the splash park, I think it was a lot easier on everybody, and I think everybody had a really good time.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else? All right.
All right, verbal report from Kelly Lear.
Hi, all. Since January, the Parks and Recreation Sports Department has kept pretty busy, even amidst COVID. We were approved by the state for both kindergarten and first and second grade hockey in January through March. We provided an outside league, and they had to wear masks, and we had to take temperatures, and we followed all CDC guidelines. So in the pictures that are going around, you'll see the venue. It was kind of fun. It had the bighorn sheep in the background and the lake in the background, and we played with the ball instead of a puck. And they played in sweatshirts instead of t-shirts, but we did it. It was just a different venue, and it got the kids outside. We were also approved by the Department of Business and Industry, which is a lot of planning and presenting paperwork to the state. So that was a lot of pre-paperwork on my part, but we were happy to get it approved for t-ball, coach pitch, and baseball. As long as my staff, who are all vaccinated, they have to be on the fields to ref and coach through the pandemic. And they coach the pods like they have done since last summer. And then those pods became teams when the games were allowed. We had clinic-style practices prior to games in all of the sports that we've provided. And tonight is the first night for baseball, which is co-ed for 3rd through 6th. And then Thursday, that very, very windy Thursday last week, was our first day for t-ball and coach pitch. We were also approved by the state for an over-the-line tournament that we hosted at Hemingway for adults. We had 6 participating teams. That was fun. We were approved by the state for a co-ed softball league, which we normally play at this time of the year, but there were some stipulations that we had to take temperatures. We have a rigorous disinfecting schedule. No spectators on the field level. They can sit, in some of those pictures you can see, they can sit up on top in their own chairs, but they're still not allowed down by the players, and the players are still spaced out in the dugouts. And then if there are too many players, then they go onto the bleachers that are adjacent to the dugouts. And all players were to wear masks in common areas. Pickleball's been operating in the new gym Monday through Saturday. With restrictions lifting, they're now operating or can operate without their masks or shields if they are vaccinated. We're no longer taking temperatures upon arrival of the facility. We also had to have staff monitoring the facility to make sure we only had a certain amount of people in there at one time, and that they were thoroughly sanitizing any hard surface areas between the groups of people that had to make reservations to play. Now they are on their own, pre-COVID, 9 to noon, Monday through Saturday. Just recently, we opened the gym for open gym play. And we started out with masks for all users. As of today, if they are vaccinated, if they're playing basketball, they do not have to wear a mask. That was a big complaint. We have all of our participants sign a COVID-19 waiver in anything that they do. And it just indicates that they know there's an inherent risk of contracting the virus if they come into our facilities. We are renting out fields like crazy. We're renting out the gymnasium. Some of those pictures you see, the Department of Wildlife and the Park Service had a project when we were out there for hockey, and I took a couple pictures. It was they were taking the collars off the bighorn sheep, and I couldn't resist. I'd take a picture of that little baby, so I just put that in there too. We're getting back to normal, and it's fun. COVID-19 has been challenging, and it's been super hard on us, especially the sports staff, because it didn't just affect the numbers of our participants, it minimized our workforce. And a small percentage came back to actually work, and Jen was kind of hitting on that. The mere fact that we've been providing all of the coaching, some of it's teaching the parents what we can and cannot do, but we are also reffing. We're changing venues, we're changing rules. They can't high five, they can't get into close proximity. With kindergartners and first and second graders, that's very difficult. And my staff's been doing a great job. We're cleaning for all of these activities before, during, and after. And we've been doing it since last summer. So we've provided as much as we can during this crisis with a very small workforce. Like Jen said, we've had a hiring freeze. And so we're making do with what we have. And they've been spectacular. My staff is to be commended. They've been super. We're looking forward to, again, utilizing parent coaches this fall. I'm excited. We're looking forward to renting our facilities this summer. We're looking forward to hiring this summer. And we're looking forward to the community coming back and engaging in physical activity and playing on sports teams once again. They were scared, and they didn't want their kids to come out. And we're seeing a change. We look forward to some normalcy. We're seeing Veterans Memorial Ball Fields 1 and 4 on Tuesdays and Thursdays is when our little kids play. In Hemingway, Mondays and Wednesdays is when 3rd through 6th grade plays. And I encourage all of you to come out and watch these little guys play. It gives me hope, and it makes me smile. It's the part of my job I love the most, and I've missed it tremendously, and I'm glad we're back. Do you guys have any questions for me? You know where to find me.
Thank you. And back to Julie.
Thank you. I want to start by letting you know that I was very excited to be able to print for you the master event schedule, which of course we have not had for well over a year. So it's nice to be able to hand that out to you and see the number of events that we have on the horizon, and that things are definitely getting back to normal. So that'll give you a glimpse of what we have to look forward to. A couple of other things that we're working on within the administration in Parks and Recreation is we are finalizing the fiscal year, which ends June 30th, and then gearing up and prepping for next fiscal year. A couple of upcoming changes or additions or different ways we're doing things with the CIP projects. We do have a line item that is for golf course improvements. So instead of having it earmarked for a specific improvement, it's going to be whichever one is the most, the biggest necessity at the time. Because we do our CIP projects planning, we start that out a good 12 to 18 months in advance, and it's a 5-year plan. So there is that flexibility and the changes, and what we thought 12 months ago was going to be a priority has, in the last 10 minutes has shifted. So it's nice that we're going to have a little bit of flexibility with both park improvements and golf course improvements. I don't know if you've been to Hemingway Park, but we are in the middle of a expansion of a nature trail at Hemingway Park. It's about halfway through, and I'll have some pictures if you want to take a look at them afterwards. It will include a walking path and some benches, and eventually there'll be some signage out there about the foliage, the natural foliage that we have out in the desert. Minimal damage, shall we say, to the natural xeriscape, and just have a nice compacted walking trail that'll be great for families, for our community members, and then for visitors as well. And again, that's about halfway through. And that is a project that we are working on with Clark County. They have funded the majority of that project, which is delightful. We are opening and getting back to normal beginning next Tuesday, June 1st. Our building will be open. We've been closed since, I want to say since March 16th. We've been closed to the public. So we will be opening our doors and welcoming everyone back into the building. As Kelly mentioned, we started back with open gym, and now everybody will just be able to utilize our facilities, it's nice to get everything back to normal. Later this week, I will be meeting with a outdoor court company, and we'll be looking at the possibility of adding pickleball lines to Hemingway and Broadbent at their basketball courts and possibly the tennis courts, so that it's going to end up being more of a multi-use course to be able to really kind of accommodate for that growing sport of pickleball, and to be able to provide some more locations for teams to get out and play. Let's see, tomorrow, City Council meeting will be the approval, hopefully, of the golf course maintenance agreement with Turf Tech, a new agreement with them to continue doing the maintenance at both of the golf courses. And after not having Community Golf Day at Cascada last year, it is on the books. Don't tell anybody yet, it's not officially been announced. However, next week we'll be sending out a save the date for September 1st, which is when we will be having our Boulder City Community Golf Day at Cascada. And that is an event that, Boulder City community golfers absolutely love. I've, several calls on a regular basis. When are we having it? When are we having it? So it'll be nice to get the word out and have that on the books and get our community out there for that. Registration for that will begin in July. So that is it for the update from administration and Parks and Rec. Do I have any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Aquatics Division for the Park and Rec Department, motion to accept the reports on that.
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye.
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 All right, and Sheree Brennan is going to come and help us out.
It's nice to see everyone, your whole face. It is. Well, I feel like the pool, we've been really blessed because of the nature of chlorine and so forth. We haven't been as closed down as a lot of the Parks and Rec facilities, so we feel really blessed, and now to be able to maybe drop our reservations. We haven't quite decided. We kind of like the reservation aspect, but that's to be discussed soon. So at this time, we still require reservations, and we are opening our class sizes up a little bit, almost to full capacity. I gotta make some phone calls and just kind of see what other facilities are doing in the valley to see. We've been using those clear face shields when we're teaching in the water. I don't know. I don't think we need to do that anymore, but I want to kind of call around and see what other facilities are doing. So we had the bubble down on Wednesday. the 19th, and that went very well, thanks to all the great staff from Public Works Department, all the departments that come out and help with that. I think we had it folded up and palleted by like 7:30. But that's because we did a lot of hard work on Tuesday in order to do that. But so the pool is currently closed. We have racquetball hours right now. And then we reopen Monday on Memorial Day with the pool, and we are raring to go with swimming lessons for all ages, and to include aerobics and our water fitness class called Swim for Fitness. We have 5 aerobics classes this summer. We have 3 in the morning, shallow water, and 2 in the evening, 1 shallow water and 1 deep water. Another exciting program that we're going to launch this summer is the junior lifeguarding program. Sierra's been hard at work on that. That will be for youth ages 12 to 15. They have to be able to complete some kind of basic, but be able to swim and do tread water. So not quite to the extent that a lifeguard, prerequisite for a lifeguard class, but they have to be able to do some things. And then they will learn about becoming a lifeguard. They will have a designated shirt that identifies them as a junior lifeguard. They will carry a rescue tube that says junior lifeguard. They will shadow our more senior lifeguards, meaning they'll stand next to them while they're lifeguarding, whether it's during swimming lessons or open swim. They'll have classroom time, 2 days. I think she's got it set up to be 2 days a week. So part of that time will be classroom, and they will actually get certified in first aid and CPR. And then they will also have water skills that they learn, the same water skills that the lifeguards learn. For the most part, they won't be doing deep water backboarding and submerged victim, that sort of thing. We'll keep it a little less intense for them. But we have quite a number of Coach Katie's crew that are interested in being part of that class. And I think it's going to be great. It'll provide a good opportunity for kids of that age. You know, sometimes those tweens don't have enough to do, or they're not sure what they want to do. So I think this will be a good thing for them. It increases programming options for us, gives some of our staff a different thing to do part of their day, because we have to have staff with them at all times. And then there's times when we have to have 2 staff members with them. So we'll also be bringing synchronized swimming back. We didn't have it last summer, and we're going to have, for Dr. McNay, we'll have an adult option, so something for you to try. We've had a lot of rentals going on. We have a company called HM Safety Certifications, and this gentleman's been using the pool to do lifeguard training. He'll continue to do that through the summer. We also had the National Park Service rent the pool a couple of times to do their, let's see. Oh, do I have my notes wrong? Boat operator instructor training. They ran it a couple of times. Boulder City was found to be more available than the Henderson pools. They typically go to Henderson. So we benefited from that. And I like when we have different things there. It gives our staff an idea of, you know, other things that go on in the world. So that was interesting to have them there. We'll have the Bureau of Reclamation, their dive and rescue team will be using the pool a couple of days this summer, both the dive tank and the main pool. And they've done that for the past few years. I think last year, they weren't doing that type of training last year. So, swimming lessons and all our summer programming, we're gearing up, as has already been mentioned by Jen and Kelly. Instructors, staff, we're okay as far as lifeguards, but we really need swimming instructors. I'll have one new one as of Thursday, but that really only gives us 4. I try not to count Sierra and myself. So we've got a lot of people interested in swimming lessons especially since last year was so light. That so if you know anybody who's 16 and can swim decently and wants to become an instructor, send them my way. Do you have any questions for me?
I do. How did the chlorine shortage actually affect you? Did it? Because as a homeowner, it affected me real hard.
I worked some magic somehow. I don't really know. We were not affected. There were times when I was told I could only buy, limit one. So then I'd call another place and I could get one bucket there. And then I'd go back and get another one here. So I just kind of worked the system a little bit, but we were fine. Oh, I know one thing I forgot. June 17th, world's largest swimming lesson. Mark your calendars. We did this event 2 years ago, and the idea behind this is that the same swimming lesson takes place around the world in as many facilities as possible on the same day. They're not at this exact same hour, but everybody's teaching the same lesson. It's a 30-minute lesson, and so we wanted to try to get as many people in. It can be any age that comes for the swimming. Let me clarify that. We don't want the babies to, 3-year-olds probably. 3-year-olds right on the bubble, but 3 and up, we'll just say. Come learn something about swimming lessons. But the idea not only is to maybe break a world record, but the main issue is to get the word out about water safety and how important it is that everybody learns how to swim. That's your best defense against drowning, is learning how to swim well. And I will have some marketing soon on that, but save that date. I could talk for a while, but I'll just one more thing. We were approached by the Little Lambs daycare that's across the street from us, and they want to use the pool 3 times a week, and they also want to rent the racquetball courts and do some group games in there. The lady who's running their summer program sounds like she said it's electronic free zone all summer, and she wants them learning things and doing, in addition to their ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. Any other questions? Thank you.
That sounds great. Thank you. And Julie, about the ad hoc committee?
I do. I just have a quick update. The final meeting for the pool ad hoc committee was in March, and I'm sure you all know, but just in case you don't, their final recommendation that they forwarded to City Council was that they felt our community was in need of a new facility versus repairing the existing one, and that was based on the contractor that was hired to do a report on both of those scenarios and give their recommendation, and the committee decided that it would be best for the city to proceed with a new facility. So the next step in the process is up to the community itself. Ballot questions will be on the upcoming election, and it will pave the road for potential financing without any increase in taxpayers' pocketbooks. So if you need more information on that, the city does have a website page that is completely designed to answer all of your questions. It has everything from the minutes from every ad hoc meeting plus the reports, and will give you information on the financial plan and answer any questions that you might have. So we're asking community members to go to that website, and there's a lot of information on social media as well. And hopefully the community will come out to cast their ballot and answer whether or not we want to move forward with a new pool.
Is there a design on there, or they're waiting for the finances and then they're gonna?
So there is a conceptual design. So yes, you'll be able to see a conceptual design. It'll show you where on Broadbent Park, how it would be laid on Broadbent Park, but it is, again, just a conceptual design. The design aspect of it would be one of the first steps once we know that we're moving forward financially with it. But it'll definitely give you an idea, and what they did is they took the ad hoc pool committee's top list of must-haves based on the feedback from the community and many, many meetings with the ad hoc pool committee. And so they took those elements and had them be kind of like the basic elements of what we would, our community maybe deserves. And that's what information that you'll be able to find on the website.
Okay. So it'll tell us, like, if it'll be...
It'll tell you that they're looking to do a 10-lane, 25 by 20, I think it's 10-lane, 25 by 25 competition pool where there will be diving available. And there's also in the design, conceptual design, a 4-lane, what's called a programming pool, so that you can stand up in that whether you're doing one of the 17 water aerobics classes or you're doing a mom and baby or dad and baby class. That'll be more of a programming pool so that people can stand up. They can be at 2 different temperatures, which typically competitive swimming pool is at a lower temperature than for your programming pool is a little bit, higher for
Wonderful.
For that age group. So, and it gives you all the information, it is in there. It's not, it would be a beautiful, well-needed asset to our community, I think.
It is something that we definitely need. All right, thank you so much. Sorry, any questions for Julie before we move on? All right, thank you. Verbal report about Bootleg Canyon.
Bootleg Canyon and the aerial trail system. We have had events up at Bootleg Canyon. They probably were one of the first areas that got approved for events because they changed how they were going to do some of their races so that they could accommodate groups of under 50 at a time. So really they tried to accommodate, do anything they could within the restrictions that were given. So we have been having events up there, and we will continue to have more events up there. Summer, it does kind of slow down because it's a little bit hot out there, but we do have a couple events that are on the calendar in the next 12 months for up at Bootleg Canyon. We have heard from Flightlines, and I believe they are hoping to come back full force in the fall, and hopefully with everything being lifted sooner, maybe they'll even come back sooner. So that is the update from Bootleg Canyon. Any questions?
My question is, on Flightlines, is there anything that we did to secure the lines up there, or?
No, they completely secured them prior to closing down shop.
So everything's kind of gated off?
Everything has been secured, correct.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of our big concerns when we talked about this before. so,
Correct,
yeah,
exactly.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Discussion regarding the July 26th Park and Rec meeting.
So staff is looking for direction regarding the July meeting. There are plans for this room, council chambers, to have some updating done, maybe do something with the paneling. I don't know, maybe keep the paneling. I don't know. I'm not going to get involved with that. But we were at a loss for a different location because we do have everything set up here for videoing it and having a live stream, et cetera, so that we're hoping that we can get some direction and maybe have approval for cancellation of the July meeting and resuming in September.
Playing devil's advocate, if we cancel it, what potentially are we not approving or taking care of outside of the standard reports and whatnot?
That's a great question, and we thought about that going into it, and there was not any pressing things that would be negatively impacted by canceling that meeting, and then we always have the ability to have a special meeting in August should something come up.
Any other thoughts? Does anyone have a motion on this? Can I do the motion? Okay, so I move that we cancel the July 26th meeting and resume in September unless that something comes up, and we will therefore call a special meeting. We need a second.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
All right. And finally, reports concerning facilities maintenance operations this is from the commission, correct?
It is. I do have a few things that Director Hall forwarded me. If you don't mind, I would love to start with those. And then whatever the committee has, that would be great. Did want to let you know about our first special event that we had, and of course that was right at the 1st of May, which was the first opportunity that things opened up a little bit more. And really want to applaud Jill Lagan and the Chamber of Commerce for their diligence in putting off what might have been one of the best spring jams ever. They really took the time to make sure that they followed all the steps and did everything in their power to make sure that they had a successful event. So we were very happy to see that so many people came out. Typically, I think she said that they do about $25,000 in advertising. That seems like a lot of money, but they did not do any advertising at all for this one. And clearly they did not need to do advertising because word of mouth was enough. If you build it, they will come. Well, they came. So it was successful. There was no fallout from it, and we're moving forward. So we're all very excited about that. And that also had the gym show that was inside the rec center, which I must say everyone was very agreeable and wore masks throughout in the indoor event, which was really nice. So we have another big event this weekend, and that's the barbecue. That's on Friday and Saturday this week right out here. So hopefully everybody will be out there for that. We did have another special event down at at El Dorado Dry Lake, and this was a cleanup event. So our Sunrise Rotary went out there and spent a couple hours just cleaning up trash in the dry lake, and we greatly appreciate that. They were amazed about how much they accumulated in a short amount of time, and hopefully that'll become an annual event for them. So we appreciate them doing that. We had a break-in a couple of weeks ago at Boulder Creek, and one of our law enforcement officers, police officers, did catch them in the act. They did run away, but they didn't get in and get anything, but we're replacing 2 of the big entry doors at Boulder Creek in the pavilion, in the clubhouse, just to have some added security down there. And then we'll also be replacing doors at the new gym, those exterior doors, and have them be swipe accessible and a little bit more updated from the original version that's there. So that's what we have. And then if y'all have anything for that agenda item, any concerns or questions?
Anything? I think we're all just happy to have things open and moving and going.
Absolutely.
All right. So with that, we will move ahead to public comment. Again, our phone number for public comment is 702-589-9629, 702-589-9629. right. Seeing as we have no public comment, we just like to welcome Valerie again. Thank you so much for stepping up and serving. I'd like to thank everyone that serves on this commission and appreciate your time and the time you take away from your other things to do this. And with that, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I motion that.
A second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, we'll see you in September.
Thank you very much.
For you?